Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today we have a bit of a buy it and try it haul video. I was a bit naughty and I went to Officeworks. Now, we went to Officeworks for 3 things, and as you can see, a few others hopped and skipped into our basket. And so I thought we'd do some swatching, some chatting, and I could show you these new pens that I'm obsessed with. Not sponsored, none of this is sponsored, pure honest opinions. But have you seen the Sharpie creative markers? They're new to me, and oh, I very much like them. So I thought we'd do some swatches, do some chats, and yeah, do the things. So the number one thing that we went in to get Aaron a work phone. Not exciting, but we ended up getting the work phone. So yay for getting something on the list that we were supposed to. The other thing that I wanted was this. Ooh, there we go. I wanted some circle labels because I want to film a video on my Patreon where I use mixed media and possibly my gel plate to create some stickers. I did buy these ones off Amazon because they were a lot cheaper in the box, but the circle ones I just prefer to have a whole page of them. And then I bought this behemoth off Amazon, which is they're kind of like the size that you'd write your name on if you were going to a business thing. So yes, I want to play around with those. Now these are gloss, which does pose some challenges, but we'll make it work. And I've done this before and I really loved the effect that it had. So I got those on the list. And then the other thing that was on our list were these, the pencil leads, because Aaron uses these in his mechanical pencil. Everything else was a whoopsie-daisy. So the first whoopsie-daisy is Aaron's fault. This is his. It is a Faber-Castell Gripmatic automatic pencil. I struggle. I'd love to know what you people think. I struggle with mechanical pencils. I think I press too hard on my lead and I break them too easily. So let me know if you're a fan of automatic pencils where you click it and it shoots out the bottom of the pencil, not pen. But he got that, so that was cool. Then the next thing I found, hang on, let's get rid of some of these big things. I thought I'd show these even though they're not, you know, arty things, just in case you're looking for any Christmassy gifts for anyone or something to do over the summer school holidays, which is what I'm hoping these will help. These were only, I think they were $5. They were either $4.95 or $5.95, and we are going camping just before Christmas. And so my plan is to pull these out at camping. So I got 2 for each kid. So I got both of them a, what are these called? Mazes. A maze book. And I got Violet the unicorn one because that looks like a lot of things. She loves these where you try to draw the other half, like, or you try to copy it. And it's just got a lot of nice basic kindy level things. And then Archer's got the maze one as well. And then he is obsessed with numbers. Maths is his thing. So this has got some really nice, like, easy Sudoku introduction, which I thought he'd love. He's obsessed with times tables and yeah, all sorts. So I'm sure he'll love that. It's always nice to have, you know, when you're camping, you kind of need some entertainment things, especially because we're going in summer, in the height of summer, so it's going to be hot, and I think we'll be doing a few sedimentary, is that the word? Sedimentary things, where we just calm in the shade. I also got this, which has nothing to do with arty things, but I'm putting this away for Archie's birthday next year. It was on clearance, and it is all about computer programming and coding, and it's a game that you can play yourself, which we really like. So it looks like it's a notebook and you do different things Always looking for some independent activities for Arch, and Aaron is a coder. He's a software developer, so we are nerds, and our children are too. So I think he'll like that. All right, on to the ARTY things. I needed some double-sided tape, and so I grabbed this one. Usually I use my ATG, but for making my muckabout journals, which if you haven't seen those on my main channel, Inkie Quill, I show those. This is one that I recently made. It's like a giant journal, and I do prefer to use tape for some parts of it, just where I really need to get close to the spine or the edge or pockets. I just find it's a bit more secure. So this was a very pricey thing. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head, but I used my double-sided tape sparingly, which is why I go a bit crazy with this guy, because the tape's cheaper. And then this is like gold in my stash. Then Arch needed some more pencils for school, and I grabbed 2B ones for him because they're meant to have HB. Is it HB? It's HB, isn't it? HB is the normal one. Hang on, I think I have one here. Nope, that's a 2B. He likes to, he's like me. We both are sensory seekers, and he likes to press when he's writing, and so 2B gives him that without having to press too much. So I grabbed some of those for him, and I will get a bigger pack when school, like all the school sales. So here in Australia, for an international peep, we have school ends in December, and all of the stationery goes on sale in January because school goes back in Feb. And so I'll get a bigger pack of pencils for next year then, but that should do him for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks of school, whatever's left. Then I got these for him, so I'll probably whip these out at camping as well. I want to try and find a black sketchbook. I know I've seen them somewhere. The only one I could find at Officeworks was A3 sized, and I thought that might be a bit big to start him off with. I just want like a little A5 one. So I'll have a look where I can find one of those. But they're black edition Buntstiffe coloured pencils. I'm going to swatch them because he won't realise that I've done that, and that's fine. So I'm going to swatch these, and then the main happy thing that I got were these. So these are Sharpie Creative markers, and it's like a paint pen-esque. So it says water-based acrylic markers. So yeah, they're a paint pen. It says it pops on light and dark surfaces, so you can use it on, Arch could use it in his dark sketchbook. And there were 2 packs available. This one is the earth tones, and we'll do a proper swatch, but you can see there, I would say it's like the pastel-y ones. And there was another pack which were the brighter colours. There was a difference in price, so these were $30, and the other pack I think were $40 for 12 markers. You could also buy them separately. So originally, before I saw this, I just grabbed 2 of them. I think individually they are either $5 or $5.95 or $4.50, somewhere between $4.50 and $6 each, which is why I just got 2 of them in my 2 favourite colours. And then I was going around and found a display of these, and these 2 colours aren't in here, so I thought they were in the Brights version. So I thought I'd get the cheaper set, also because it has a few, well, it's called the Earth Tones packet, so of course it has a few, but it has a few earthy tones. And whenever we go camping, I take my little, where is it? I think it's just here. I take my little urban sketching journal with me, and I like to do some little, that's one of our camping trips, some little urban sketching things. and so I thought that they might be handy to do some camping urban sketching. So stay tuned for that. I might do a video on, actually I might take you with me. How about we do a little camping video perhaps of some urban sketching? Yes. Okay, I'll write that down so I don't forget. But anyway, I like the colours. They were different than my usual, so I grabbed these separate and then this one because I didn't have $70 to spend on markers, even though I wanted to, but I didn't. And then they also have these creative markers which have the brush tip, and they are so juicy, so we're going to swatch those as well. Unfortunately, they didn't have a multi-pack of these available at the Officeworks I was at. The one that I was at is the smaller Officeworks on the coast where I live, so they may be available at the other one, or they may not have a pack, I don't know, but I would have jumped on this. These are delicious, so we'll swatch those. I grabbed another one of these Stabilo 0.88 fine 0.4s in a very greeny green, but for the same reason as these earth tones, I want to put that in my urban sketching kit. I have these two greens, and so I feel like with those three green tones we're traveling well for doing some sketchy stuff. This was a new thing also to me. This is by ARTY, and it's called the Supreme Colouring Pen, and it's a felt tip, which I'll show you in this. We have the Stabilo Point Visco Fine 0.5, and I keep going to go like this, and it's really, it's not a clicky, but it looks like it should be. It's just a black pen. This was about $7 or $8, which is why I just got one. And I got it in black because I'm always on the hunt for a new black scrapbooking pen, and this one didn't smudge, which I really loved. And then the last thing is the kids needed a few rubbers. We call erasers rubbers in Australia. And so they have two pencil boxes, one in two different rooms. And so I grabbed two of these. You can't go wrong, in my eyes, with Staedtler, with their products. They're really well made. And I'm a bit fussy when it comes to rubbers. I really detest the cheap ones that don't do anything. Yeah, so got those as well. All right, let's do some switchy swatchies. Now, I have grabbed my little mini muckabout. So this is like a commonplace muckabout that I made on Patreon, possibly 2 years ago now. This was the first. I made this before I made the big ones. And it's just a little book that I write things in. I go in stages of remembering that I have it and then forgetting that I have it. Oh, look at how tiny they are. So if you want to know how to make that, that's over there. There's a leaf in it. So I have done a previous little haul in here, which is why I thought it'd be a good spot to do it. And so I'm going to first look, let's try, we need a dark page for the coloured ones. Now, is there a dark page? That would be a good one for these. Maybe let's start with that. Okay. So first off, I'm going to open these, which is always a fun thing to do. My fingers are really sore today, and so my hand strength is not quite working. So we're just going to grab the handy dandy scissors to help us out. This is very firm packaging. All right. Oh, there we go. Hope my grunts weren't too horrible to listen to there. Let's start with the blues, because I do love blue. Do they have like names? They don't seem to have like a name or a number. But yeah, they're just called Sharpie Creative Markers. I'm sure they probably have real names online. Let me zoom you in a little bit here. There we go. All right. Ooh, That, peeps, is so juicy. It's just, that's really nice. That's really, really nice. And you know what I appreciate? That you don't have to warm it up to get it started, because that sometimes can be a bit tricky. All right, this is like an icy blue. That's lovely too. They squeak. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, we have icy blue. Then I would say that this is a navy, and I think this is the same. No, different. Yeah, this is more of a, I would say, a duller navy than the other one that I bought. Then we move in. This is one of my favorite colors. Oh, this was the color that my bridesmaids wore. Like a lilac-y color. I think these would be really great for kids as well, rather than the Posca pens, because they're just a little bit easier to use. Also a bit cheaper too. So Posca's individually here. Oh, I guess, oh, if you buy them individually, they're on par. Oh, that's a brown. That's certainly a brown. But like I said, very earthy, very tony. This is like a burnt orange, corally colour. And then I would call that a golden mustard. They do get on your hands and they don't smudge, are they? Okay, that smudged a bit, but when it's on your hands, you know when things stay wet on your hands for a long time and then you just like print it everywhere? That dried up really quickly. What have we got here? Ah, a butter yellow. This colour was very on trend just a moment ago. Is it? I think it still is. I'm very far from knowing what the trends are. This is it's like a pastel lime, which, if you peeps know, green is the colour that I struggle with the most. And lime green and what I would call middle green, like this colour, are the greens that I go when I use them, especially in scrapbooking. A pastel-y version I can definitely get more so on board with. I think it's just the sharpness of the lime green that I struggle with. So there are the earthy tones, which are beautiful. Like, you could do a whole bunch just with this pack. Like I said, I'm not at all sponsored for any of this. Wish I was, because I could have endless art supplies if I didn't have to pay for them. That would be lovely, but I'm definitely not sponsored. True honest opinions. Let's try this colour. So you can see there's definitely a difference in the vibrancy of the this and this. So I think I will save up and go back and get the brights at some point. And even though these two colours are in it, they're going to get a lot of use, and so it won't hurt to have two of the turquoise and the pink. Freaking love that colour. All right, so we better write what they are. Let's use this, because I feel like they're going to, if I write with that, it's going to be like Sharpie. It's going to be really big. So this is Sharpie Creative Markers. This pen is very lovely. Ooh, that's nice. I should probably also do this one too, but we'll do the other two creative markers first. Wow. So there's no differentiation between the two except for the picture. So you can see that one. I'll show you up close. If it would focus on me. Here we go. Come on. There we go. So you can see this one's got more of a brushy tip and that one's got more of the bullet style tip. So These are so nice. Oh, look at how juicy that is. Very lovely. So that's like a brighter navy. And then I did get the black as well. Highly, highly, highly recommend. They're very wet. So like this blue is still juicy, I can see. So definitely smudgy if you put your hand over it straight away, but worth it for the just sheer juiciness of that. And I'm a bit particular about my tips. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fusspot when it comes to these. I don't like a pen tip that's too loose at the top, if that makes sense. I like it firm at the top and then a looser end. I feel like that's how I get the shape of my downstrokes. The zig markers I struggle with because they're too fluidy, too floppity. And then there's other ones that I struggle with that are too firm. So I feel like this is a good, it's the Goldilocks. It's the Goldilocks of all of them. Let's do these little ones down here. So this is a Stabilo 0.88, 0.4. Nice. I've used these for years, so I knew what I was getting there. I'm going to do this every time. Every time. I love it. But why make, I know it's so that you can like clip it in stuff, but that's it's gonna drive me nuts. Let's see how long it takes me in videos to stop doing that, because I think it's going to take a while. This is the Stabilo, what is it called? Point Visco. And it is the 0.5, which is my preferred writing one. And the thing that I'd watch me, oh no, here we go, look. See? It's not smudging. And that's the problem I have with my scrapbooking pens sometimes. And then this is the Artline Supreme colouring pen. Let's fit this in here. Artline, I might just call it Artline Supreme. So this you could do some nice brush tip lettering with as well, but it's very firm. I will probably use this for a lot of like mark making on my art journal pages and things like this. So I do quite like a little sprinkly bit. Now let's find, I will find a dark page. And is this all dry? This is like a glossy, I think it was a washi tape packaging that I stuck in here, so I just wanted to check that it had dried on there. But before we turn over, give you a little looky. I think that page just looks very pretty against that one. I love the aesthetics. Okay, we need a dark page. If we don't find a dark page, I can concoct one. Let's see. These are peeling up a little bit, so I will probably go down and put some tape down because we never trust washi. I could use this strip. What else have we got? I could use this as well. Oh, little Archie there. Oh, I could use this. That could work out quite. I think that's the darkest that we've got. Oh, we do have the swans. Okay, you know what? Because I probably wouldn't do anything else to this page. I often use pages in here that, like papers that are a bit challenging. Let's use this one. And we might just put some love hearts in all the little spaces, and that can be our swatching. So let's try off, this is like a peachy colour. Now these do not have numbers or colours, but they are the Faber-Castell Black Edition, but what do we call them? Bunstife. Bunstifty. No, there's a T in there too. Bunstift. I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Alright. Ooh. Faber-Castell are actually my favourite pencils to buy Arch for school. Like I said, look, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to stationery supplies, only because as a teacher, I saw I saw the supplies that were only like $1. The dollar pack of pencils do not last. It is not worth buying them. I would rather buy a $10 pack of pencils and have them last the whole year, and have my child not be sharpening them every 2 seconds because the tips keep breaking. So, little PSA if you're buying your kids school supplies, Faber-Castell hands down. Again, they don't know me. The yellow pops really well. But yeah, Faber-Castell have been hands down my favourite for years and years and years. I think they trump Crayola, and yeah, they often come with a sharpener or a rubber as well, which I appreciate. Okay, so these are very nice indeed. Oh, that blue is really pretty. Arch often likes things that push, like that aren't normal. Do you know what I mean? That are outside the box, which is why I think he'll really like these pencils, because they're not normal pencils, they're special pencils. And so that's why I thought of him. Violet will, you know, eat up any craft supply you put in front of her because she's a mini inklet. She is the miniest of all the inklets. Now that's a black, so it doesn't really work on the black, but that's very sweet. I think the colours that pop the most seem to be the blue, the yellow, the pink. Of course, the brown, the black, and the grey are similar tone to the paper, so they're not going to pop as much. I also want to try these on here too. But yes, Violet is a fiend for craft supplies, and nothing is safe around her ever, which I love, when she's not pressing down like there's no tomorrow on my Tombow dual markers. But I do love it. These are so lovely. I need all of them. Maybe we're not buying Christmas presents for each other, Aaron and I, this year, but perhaps I might buy myself a camping present and shaft myself a pack of the bright colours. Yeah, these are lovely. I wonder if they have a white, because you know how I've been on the search for the white, like the perfect white paint pen for a very long time. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I've been on the search for the perfect white paint pen because I found, were those, what was the brand of the one that I found? And then they discontinued it because of course they did. Was it Stabilo? No, it was Sharp. Was it Sharpie? I think it was the Sharpie, and it was the water-based acrylic marker. And I loved it because I had an oil-based one as well, but it wasn't the same. And I personally thought it trumped the Posca paint pens. And it had a really nice fine tip so that I could do writing with it. But then they discontinued it. And I was really sad, and I've never found a white paint pen that has matched it. So maybe this is like their new version, but all the colours. Oh, I'm so silly. Why didn't I look for the white in the individual ones? Maybe they didn't have the white in the individuals, and that's why, because I'm always testing white paint pens whenever I see a new brand. I did actually vlog this, so this will be up on our Rad Ramblers channel at some point when I catch up with the editing over there. But I tried another brand of paint pen while I was there. I can't remember what it was called. It was a brand I hadn't heard before, but I didn't like it. It was a bit watery. but these ones are very nice. Oh, I have a cat next to me. Hello. Hello, darling. Update, I'm in my temporary craft room here. I'm inside the house, which if you follow me on my main channel, Inkie Quill, you will definitely be sick of me talking about. But good news, I think I'm moving back next week, or this weekend. We have Violet's birthday party on Saturday, which I think is when this video comes out. So if this video comes out on Saturday, Violet's party starts in a couple of hours. Please, everyone, cross all of your fingies and your toes that it doesn't rain. It's predicted 75% chance of rain. And we have 25 children in a park. And there is no wet weather option. So please, please, we have paid $500 for a face painter. I know. And I just want Violet's party to go ahead. There is a slight shelter for a couple of the tables, but there is not enough shelter for 25 children and 25 parents or sets of parents or carers, all under there. So, yeah. Look out your window if you're in the Central Coast or Sydney or Newcastle, and just tell the clouds to go away. Go away. I am dreading if it rains, because I think, I don't know if I've talked about it here or on Inkie Quill, but Violet's hyperfocus, she's autistic, and her hyperfocus is parties and planning them. And she starts planning her next party at the year before's party. So she was planning her 6th birthday at her 5th one, which was Bunnings themed. And so, yeah, we're just, it's gonna be a difficult weekend if it's raining. Anywho, these are the swatches of the swans, the swan swatches, and this was the perfect way to use this page, because I don't know how else I would have used this page. The verdict is, I freaking love these. If you haven't picked up on that, and I will be going back to get the Brights version within the next couple of months. I also think these are really fun. I think that the paper here, this scrapbook paper, is a little, it's not glossy, but it's got, I would say, a bit of a satin finish. And so it would be interesting to see how they work on the black sketchbook paper, but I think they're a hit. Let me just try, actually. Let's do the pink. I might just do, this is just painted the back of some scrapbook paper. Let's just do things to remember. I'll fill that in later with things to remember. Yeah, so I think on the, like a black sketchbook, it might be easier to use them, but they work fine on here as well. But that texture is a bit different. So they're all of our switchy swatches. Oh, one other thing that I forgot about. Archie's been begging for pickup sticks. These were $5. So I picked those up as well. So they'll probably come to camping, because they're a nice little sit-down activity. But I think that's all we got from, yeah, that's all we got. So I am going to pack this away and get started on making some of these mixed media stickers. So if you're interested on that, that video will be up on Patreon probably before this one or this coming week, depending on what order I've filmed things in or upload things in. But thanks for joining me today, peeps, for a little swatchy video. If you would like another chatty video like this, let me know if there's a particular product that you want me to try. And because it is hard with, you know, when you see people doing sponsored content, they're always going to give a positive reflection on the sponsorship. And I've done a couple of sponsored posts in the past, and I have said honestly what I thought. But it is hard sometimes when you're watching people to know like whether they actually really like the things So if there's anything you'd like me to try, non-spond, let me know. Or if you're a company that wants me to try things out and give an honest opinion, let me know. And I'll see you in the next video very soon. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And there's a hype thing too, which I'm still learning about, but I think there's a hype button and it like pushes this video to be suggested to other crafty people. So if you wouldn't mind pressing the hype button, that'd be awesome too if you feel like it. If you don't, that's okay. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.